Oh, no.
Hey, big news.
What a crowd. Good afternoon. Excited for everybody to be here. I want to start off slightly off topic by saying how unbelievably proud I am that my dad was just nominated as President Trump's ambassador to Israel. I had the chance to go to Israel for the very first time with my dad when I was 11 years old, and it literally changed my life. There's no greater supporter and nobody that has a greater understanding of our two nations' unbreakable bond. And there is probably a little bit of bias, but there's no one who will do a better job in this role. Congratulations, Dad. We're all very proud of you. Now, I know that's what y'all came here for, obviously. But for today's announcement, it is an honor to be here with Secretary Leslie Fiskin, many of our cabinet secretaries and legislators from all over the state, and so many of the men and women public servants within state government who not only make today's announcement possible, but who run and fuel our entire state. When I took office, I promised to offer transformational change for the state of Arkansas. We're achieving that in education, in public safety, in our tax code, and a lot more. And today, we're announcing another slate of reforms, this time for state government itself. I've made no secret that I believe that Arkansas's current state employee pay plan is broken. It's confusing, and it doesn't reward hard work. And it's not recruiting new hires for our most in-demand positions. Frankly, it's failing the men and women who work in state government. And because of that, it's failing the people of Arkansas. Today, I'm announcing that after months of hard work, we are proposing a new state employee pay plan. It includes raises for about 2/3 of our cabinet agency's workforce, including double-digit percentage increases in our most hard-to-fill positions. It consolidates titles across state agencies so that employees operate under a clear structure that matches the private sector. It rewards state employees who get new training and certification, and it offers our great team members a clear path to promotion and pay raises. We took Arkansas's pay plan down to the studs, so there's a lot to unpack, and we have Secretary Fiskin who will come up and lay out some of the specific numbers and details. But I want to take this time to talk a little bit about the real people whose lives will be impacted. Our state employees aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. They're moms and dads, they're church members, and they're members of our communities. Up here with me today is Centressa Jackson, a family service worker from Conway. And most of her cases are teens. She says she's somewhere between a mom and a big sister for a lot of them. At the Conway Human Development Center, she hosts birthday parties and study halls. For homecoming a few weeks ago, she took the girls shopping to get their hair and nails done and helped them get dressed. She's always the one that the girls call when they need help. She takes them to driver's tests and job interviews. In addition to being these girls' champion, she's also a single mom with 2 boys at home. But like everyone else in America, she's seen prices go up while her paycheck stays the same. Groceries, school supplies, gas, it's all more expensive than it used to be. And as she says, a pay bump would help with just about everything. Under our new pay plan, her income would go up by $7,500 a year, and starting pay for all DCFS workers would go up by more than 20%. These heroes pour their time and energy into our state's most vulnerable young people, and it's time that we pay them back. Thank you for your service to the state. We're also joined by Blake Irvin, a state trooper from Wynne. In addition to protecting Arkansans in his day job, Blake is also a foster parent. He and his wife have a 13-year-old foster daughter living with them now. Tragedy struck last year when Blake and his wife lost their home in March 31st tornadoes. Since then, they've had some difficulties with their insurance company, and they just recently moved back into their old house. They never stopped fostering. And as Blake says, they would never even considering closing their home to foster kids. But between the tornado and demands of being a foster parent, money has become an issue. And Blake says they'll have to have difficult conversation if things don't change. Under our new pay plan, Blake's pay would go up by nearly $11,000, and starting pay for all state troopers would go up by just under 20%. These heroes put their lives on the line every single day to keep us safe. Our new pay plan rewards them for their sacrifice. Thank you, Blake. Also up here with me is Dakota Moore, a licensed practicing nurse at the Department of Health from DeQueen. Dakota spent 7 years at a nursing home before joining state government and says she likes to stand up for people and help Arkansans get healthier. The only hang up is when she got the call to take the Department of Health job was the pay. She was making a lot less than she was at their nursing home. That's an issue because Dakota has had some health issues in the recent past, and she's also a mom. To make ends meet, Dakota still works at the nursing home on weekends. That means she can't spend as much time with her kids as she would like. I'm proud to say that under our new pay plan, Dakota's income would go up by nearly $13,000 each year, and starting salaries for state nurses would go up by more than 8%. Our state nurses keep us healthy, and our new pay plan rewards their public service. Thank you, Dakota. These are just 3 examples of the professional men and women who keep our state running. You could go into any state police headquarters or county health unit or local DHS office or any revenue office and find stories very similar to theirs. I'm proud that this pay plan rewards them for their dedication and makes their lives just a little bit easier. I look forward to working with our legislators to get this plan passed, and I want to thank the men and women at TSS and their entire teams who have put so much hard work into this proposal. I'll now turn it over to Secretary Fiskin, and then I'll come back up to take questions. Thank you so much. Leslie.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Governor, and thank you for the opportunity to work on this project. So I just want to give y'all a little background on this project and kind of the nuts and bolts of what we've done. So all of this is part of the Arkansas Forward Initiative, which the Governor has led, and it's to create efficiencies in state government and really modernize state government. So the Governor recognized that we didn't make improvements and changes to our pay plan, including increasing salaries. So from that, our department engaged with McKinsey Consulting. Earlier this year, we started working with McKinsey Consulting, and McKinsey really has provided us with the framework of what we needed to do in Arkansas. There were 3 main things that they came back to us on, specifically with our pay structure. And one is to reorient our middle management and the number of classifications for our positions, and also to create career tracks and ladders and paths for our employees, because currently we do not have career paths. Second, is to make our pay plan competitive and with the targeted classifications. And those targeted classifications, 3 of them are the examples of my colleagues here next to me, are state troopers, nurses, and social service employees. We have a very hard time recruiting and retaining these good employees. And finally, McKinsey recommended to bring our employees up to labor market rate. And that would also help with recruitment and retention. So from that framework, our Office of Personnel Management, led by Director Kay Barnhill, they really started working on developing a strategy and the details of how this could be put into place and developed. So they conducted full research and analysis, looking at all labor market resources in the state of Arkansas. They reviewed the job titles and labor market data for over 22,000 employees that we have here. They have reduced, we have 2,200 job titles right now in the state of Arkansas, and they've reduced that to 800. Creating these new job titles really allows us as a state to align with other public markets, but the private sector as well, and to make sure that these are aligned with industry standards. And we've also created career tracks, like I mentioned earlier, and paths for all of these positions, which provides transparency and allows employees that come to work for the state of Arkansas to know what is their next step as they move forward. So as for what the new pay plan will do, is it's going to bring up all of our employees to the labor market rate where they should be paid. specifically in these targeted classifications of nurses, state troopers, social service specialists, in a new pay table with higher market salaries. Currently, we have four pay tables in the state. We're expanding that to 6, and we're adding 2 new classifications. One adds law enforcement and safety, and the second new pay table is adding professionals. So currently, we have approximately, as the governor mentioned, we have 1/3 of our employees are on target, which is great. They're being paid what they should be paid. If they were somewhere else in a different public sector or private sector in the state of Arkansas, we are on target for paying them the correct compensation. Where we are lacking is we have 2/3 of our employees are below market rate. So that's approximately 14,000 employees that are not being paid at the market what they should be paid. So our recommendation for this is to move all of those employees, which is approximately 14,000, up to the labor market rate. This would be, for us, the next step of the process is working with our legislators that we work in partnership with on a daily basis to make sure that we can support these employees, which our state legislatures, they do on a daily basis. And this would all be able to go into effect July 1st of 2025. And finally, I'd like to acknowledge this work has been a collaborative effort. All of the departments, our cabinet members, everybody has worked with us and given us feedback and input, as well as I mentioned, Director of Office of Personnel Management, Kay Barnhill, and her team, which is about 9 people, are the people in the state of Arkansas that have been working tirelessly on this and using their expertise and details to put this together. So we're really thankful and appreciative for their work. Thank you. I'm sorry. If I was supposed to introduce you, I'm sorry.
The governor did a good job of introducing me, so there's not a lot really to say. I will say, again, my name is Trooper Blake Irvin. I've got the privilege to work with the premier law enforcement agency in this state since 2021. I just want to speak on what it would do for current troopers. As a family man myself, I have a now foster daughter. We had one during the tornado as well that has since aged out of foster care and is living independently. However, she's still our daughter. So we have her. She has a daughter now, so I'm a grandfather at 33 years old. So I have her, a granddaughter, our foster daughter, and 3 beautiful boys. Obviously, this pay raise would do wonders financially for us. However, another aspect of that is we are very low manned. I'm based out of Forest City, Arkansas, and Troop D area, and we are struggling right now with numbers. This leads often to shift changes, just unknowns of what next week will look like, overall planning, and a lot of it lands back on my wife, taking on all these children and whatnot in our home. And I'm beyond thankful for her because I can tell you that I would not be able to do this job without her. This pay raise would allow recruiting-wise for numbers to come in. Obviously, it's attractive to have more pay, and I believe that may be what's holding some people back from making that jump over to the state police. So I just asked the legislature, please, I know you guys are very pro-law enforcement and pro-Arkansas State Police, as well as the governor, and I'm beyond thankful for that. It's a privilege today to be here as a representation of the Arkansas State Police. And I'm thankful to be alongside 2 other state employees that also are well representations of their areas. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Blake. Any questions? It's me. That would be a separate structure. Leslie, I don't know if you want to comment, but it wouldn't include the constitutional officers, and so that's a different category.
That's correct. Constitutional offices do not fall under the Class and Compensation Act.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question about the cost of this.
Sure.
I know most of it is in kind of general revenue. It also, in the press release you put out, it says that much of it will be absorbed by increasing funding due to salary savings and existing vacancies. I also understand you're not reducing the number of jobs, just the number of job titles. So
No, we don't anticipate that. So the total estimated cost would be just over $100 million, but that is not new money. I see quite a number of the cabinet secretaries here, and so I want to remind them while everyone is in the room that we are first asking them to look at their existing budgets and to pay for the vast majority through the existing budget that they already have. If that is not possible, then we would look at other funding sources. One example, but not exclusive to, would be the Performance Fund, which has an extremely healthy balance, around $72 million. But the first step and the first place that we want every agency and department to look at is with their existing budget. Not specifically. Again, we want everybody to look within their existing budget to begin with.
There's been some speculation that you were going to be back to DC, offered a job. Can you kind of
I will gladly. There's been very few people who have supported and campaigned as hard and hoped as much as I have that President Trump would be reelected, which he did decisively last week. But I am very proud to be the governor of Arkansas. I've already announced my bid for reelection, and I look forward to serving in this position for the next 6 years. So unfortunately, and hopefully, you guys are stuck with me for a while. And the only member of my family that will be going into the administration is my dad.
So President Trump is an outsider?
I'm sorry?
President Trump is an outsider?
Has what? Oh, is he outside? I don't think so, unless you know something I don't. But we would certainly welcome him to Arkansas anytime. And I think that while this may be the biggest crowd we've had in the conference room, I think we can do a lot better than that if he comes to Arkansas. Thank you all so much. Appreciate you guys being here.